Hello, everybody, and welcome to the episode of Sports with Monga. And a somber moment, but a moment to reflect. And it has happened with Gareth Southgate. He has officially resigned as the English manager or the England manager after taking a step back and reflecting on it and basically saying, I've had enough. This is my time. Thanks for watching. Bye. That's what Gareth Southgate has told the FA, the Football Association, after he was also given the 2-year deal and they wanted him to lead England into the World Cup 2026. Before we get into it, I've had a lot of love for my videos. My previous video on the tennis from the Spain Alcaraz versus Djokovic tennis in the Wimbledon game. Thanks for all the support. I hope you will subscribe to the channel. To all the new viewers who've been enjoying the content, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon before more videos. Sports with Monga is a fan channel where I'm basically bringing you perspective and news that I'm consuming regarding football, other sports like from the Premier League, the manager situations that is happening, the transfer window. Also, we have the Olympics starting. So there's a loads of comment coming through with the FPL as well. So if you want to be on the journey of all breaking news, we'll be covering most of them when I can, actually. But this is the one that I wanted to. So if you want to be on the journey, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button and let's get into it. England manager search will start soon because who will be the next England manager? That's the big question. The FA have begun a search for the new English manager following Gareth Southgate's departure after Euro 2024. Southgate was appointed in 2016. He's the longest standing English manager. But then you have to understand what he has done for the English team, the England, because there has been a time where a lot of players who would play in the Premier League would not want to go to play for their club, to play for their countries. Like England would not have like a good representation or have a feel good factor when they would want to come to play for their country apart from the other players like Spanish teams, like Italians. They would love to play for their country, but then not for England. But he changed that in 2016. It was basically a relation because it was a love-hate relationships between the media, the players, and the FA. It was a lot of backlash, a lot of negative stories because there was no access. People were not given access, or they would kind of try to spring up stories or bring up stories. But then Gareth Southgate has done an amazing job to manage that relationship in a way where people want to come and play for England. He was appointed in 2016 with England reaching their first World Cup semi-final for 28 years in 2018 and first major men's final in 55 years at the Euro 2020 during his tenure. Of course, 2024, his last rendezvous as an English manager, but making sure that he brought England again to the finals, but then failing against Spain, losing 2-1. But, there's been a lot of criticism. Of course, he is aware of his position. He's been trolled, empty beer cups thrown at him from a section of the English fan base. And he's kind of taken everything in the stride. He's never kind of reacted. He's basically said, it's been a tough time. I know what my family has gone through, what he has gone through. And the players have supported him throughout in the Euros. So it's been like he's just been a true gentleman in a way. And basically, he just said, like, I can do what I can do best as a manager. And now it's for FA to judge who will succeed him. FA gave Southgate the 2-year extension as well, and they were hoping that he will accept. But then he decided to basically wrap it up and say no more. He resigned after 8 years in charge, and that's in English. That's very interesting. And it was basically he basically did it again, a gentleman thing. He could have taken the spotlight right after the Euros, where in the press conference he would have said, "Okay, this is my final game. I'm gonna leave by," and the spotlight would have just suddenly changed between him. Like, how long has this decision been on his mind? Did he play this best team or not? Or was it like? And it's so well kind of phased as well because you don't want the story to be you. He wanted the games to be done, the Euros to be done, even if I think even if he had won, he would have resigned as well. But then, of course, the legacy of him remains the best because he's not won it, but then he's been in finals, 2 finals, quarterfinals of the World Cup in 2022, 2020, he in the finals losing against Italy in the Euros at Wembley. That would have just been the cherry on the cake if he had done it, but then it was all meant to be. And 2024 again in Berlin against Spain, just not meant to be. But he did it as a gentleman. The match ended. He basically reflected. People were like just negative about like there was no forward playing. He was playing too negative. He was playing too cagey football. He had the best players, the best English player in Phil Foden, the best Spanish player in Jude Bellingham, the best German player of the year in Harry Kane, but he still couldn't kind of produce the spoils or win the Euro. And he is aware of this. But then the game ended. He was a gentleman. He basically let the media scrutiny go over. But a day after, like today, he kind of announced that he's going to resign. And it was also after speaking to Mark Bellingham, Bullingham, the FA chief executive, and it's been basically very interesting that he went and spoke to them, and he's a gentleman, so they expected and respected his decision because it was his decision to make if he wants to stay or if he wants to leave, and he eventually decides to leave in a way. But that's the important point, that he made the choice. It was him and no pressure on himself. Like, at least that's what the media is kind of speculating, is like he had no pressure from the outside and he was supposed to kind of go. But then this is going to be an issue now for the FA because, first of all, there are multiple topics, and I can break this down as well and into multiple topics. Like, one, who will be the next new England manager? What should the FA do? Who is FA looking at? What's the timeline and stuff and so on. So let's bring in the first question is like, how long will this take? They want to appoint a manager in the next 2 months. So basically, FA has started a good search. They have a pool of managers they can kind of look around. And they're not stuck to just English managers. Of course, it's been one of those things where England has always had an English manager. Of course, they tried with Sven-Göran Eriksson, with Capello, and others as well. But then they've tried to hold as an English club, as English manager as much possible. But then there are English names, like Graham Potter is one. But then on the timeline first, before I get into on the managers, like in my mind, the timeline is 2 months. England will play the first game in the Nations League because they got dropped out, so they have to play a qualifier against Republic of Ireland in Dublin on September 7th. So today is July the 16th, and they have almost 2 months, but less than 2 months when their game starts. But then Scott Carson has been and they could also appoint like an interim person like Scott Carsley. Carsley could play the under 21. Lee Carsley, sorry. Lee Carsley is the under 21 England manager right now, and he could be seen as an interim choice, because if they don't have the manager they want before, they want to kind of have somebody in the interim for the Nations League match that starts in September, or that is on September 7th in Dublin against Republic of Ireland. But that's the timeline that we are looking at. And the options on the table definitely are now, like, if I go just for the English boys, it has to be Graham Potter, Eddie Howe, and also, like, let's not forget that Frank Lampard is also out there. Gary Lineker would want Frank Lampard to get in an English job. He's said it on all different podcasts, like That's Football, The Rest is Football, The Overlap, and so on and so forth, that, I want to play. I want to be the next manager. I'm desperate to get into a job. They've had English experience. They're ex-players. At least Lampard has a good career. He's two of them are having Chelsea managers, so they've done the job. They've seen how English players can play, and of course they've been pundits, so they can kind of try to play aggressive football. Potter lacked the experience when Chelsea failed. Eddie Howe is the most favored choice right now from the Englishmen in my mind. Potter, Howe, and Lampard, if I go for that number. Eddie Howe with Newcastle, getting Bournemouth from the division and first division to kind of get into the Premier League. managing really good talent, and of course playing really expansive and really good football, like extremely attacking with his wingers, with using Anthony Gordon, using Trippier to his best full potential, and ensuring that he gets the goals. And it's never a dull moment playing, like watching Newcastle even in the Premier League. So Eddie Howe in my mind is the best option there. Of course Lampard, he has the pedigree, doesn't have but then he has his own baggage because he has his own career. So everybody will judge him from what he has done on the pitch himself as an English player. Eddie Howe comes from a very good acumen, and in previous years he's given interviews where he said, when he was like with Bournemouth, and he's like, if I get the job, if FA wants me to, I will not think twice. I will take the job. So he is very keen for sure. And that's an interesting thing. Like Eddie Howe has signed a new multi-year extension last season, which was only made public by Newcastle CEO like today. Basically, he's basically saying, if you want my manager, if you want Eddie Howe, we need to start talking compensation. But then Newcastle always will remain confident that the 46-year-old Eddie Howe will remain in charge before the season starts. But of course, there is a possibility that if FA comes knocking, Eddie Howe won't say no. He has said it previously. So it's going to be interesting as well. Graham Potter, as I said, Brighton did a great job, played the best that he could. Like the model worked. He was expansive enough, scoring goals, getting the players, Caicedo's, like the McAllisters and everybody, like getting the best out of them. So he could be somebody that could churn. But then, of course, like, does he have the respect when Rashford steps on the pitch, when Foden, who's coming from Pep Guardiola, who's coming from that style of play, and then Jude Bellingham, the personality of the play? Can Graham Potter basically impose himself as the manager, as somebody that everybody would kind of fear or listen to? That's the thing. But Eddie Howe demands that respect because he's done a job with Newcastle. He has managed egos. He's managed big players. Of course, Potter was booed and basically not successful again in Chelsea. Like he completely crumbled under pressure there. So Lampard as well has not had a great career on the manager side. So I would still say in the English boys, it has to be Eddie Howe, in my opinion. Drop in the comment section below, all the England fans. Let me know, what do you think? How do you feel to Southgate? There's been a hue and cry about his head for quite a while. All English fans basically saying he made the wrong choice. He should have dropped Kane. He should have played Palmer before. He should have dropped Foden, who was not playing. Why did he play Bellingham on the left and stuff and so on? So there's a lot of talking points there, guys. But then drop in the comment section below. Let me know, what do you feel? Who in the list that I said, Potter, Howe, and Lampard, who do you think actually will become the English manager if they had to choose, if the FA went through an English manager choice? Get in the comment section below. And if you still enjoy this video, hit the subscribe button and let's get into the international options, because the FA has basically said that Gareth Southgate's successor may not be English. And they're like, why not? Like, there are players, there are managers outside who could be amazing to kind of have to basically check out, like, right? Like, why should they limit themselves to only options that are English? And then, of course, the one on the top in my mind is Gareth Southgate. Is Jurgen Klopp. Jurgen Klopp is available. US has went and like they did offer the national team coach manager job to Jurgen Klopp. Klopp said, the club representative said basically, I've had enough, guys. I'm not doing this. This is not for me right now. I'm going to take a break. I'm mentally drained. I'm emotionally completely done. But then if you want to hire somebody with some pedigree with Liverpool, who's done an amazing, of course, he's loved at Liverpool. He's loved with the English fans as well. Like, of course, like when Champions League would happen, like English fans would kind of support Jurgen Klopp because they want England to kind of go through, like English teams to kind of go through. But of course, Liverpool, he has a very iconic style of play. He's won trophies, he's won Champions League, he's won Premier Leagues, he's won everything, and he speaks English. He is good at managing game and personalities and stuff and so on. So if Klopp is the best choice there, they should just go for Klopp. Of course, but then we have Pochettino, Mauricio Pochettino, an Argentine, Klopp being a German, and but then, why wouldn't he kind of take, like, they've done this, FA have done it before with Capello and with Sven-Göran Eriksson, but then it won't be it's the matter of the best choice. Like, I think the decision needs to be who's the best, who could actually get us to win the next World Cup, which is World Cup 2026 in the US, Mexico, and Canada. The second option or second name is Mauricio Pochettino. Amazing job with Tottenham. Players love playing with him because he just puts an arm around them, gives them a cuddle, tells them what they want to know, but then he rags them bad if they make mistakes and if they're not good. Fitness is an absolute must for him. And he plays really good football as well. We've seen it, of course, with Chelsea. It was like a transition. He was sacked this year as well, so he's available for a job. And he's done a great job with Spurs previously. And, you know, Argentinian, but then he knows and he's been around England for quite a while. So why wouldn't FA even think of him? They should. Of course, he's not one as big as Klopp. That's why I feel Klopp is still the biggest name that is out there if FA really want to go non-English manager. The third name from the non-English pool in my mind is Thomas Tuchel, Bayern Munich, Chelsea, Dortmund. He's done an amazing job. He's won everything that there is to win with the Champions League, with the Premier League and stuff. Of course, sacked by Bayern last year after losing the Bundesliga to Bayer Leverkusen, to Xabi Alonso. But then I think he has been the one who's been out for like a job, like who's been searching as well. So if you want to go for a name, you could actually just pick him as well. But again, I would say in the non-English club list, the best of these three in my mind is Klopp. So in my mind, and this is my prediction, guys, drop in your predictions from these three of non-English managers. Who do you feel could actually accept? Will Klopp accept? That's the big question. Like, it won't be the question that FA comes knocking on the door and Klopp is like, yeah, I want to go. No, he might just say like, I'm done, guys. I want to chill out, dude. I want to chill out for 2026. I want to see the scene, what happens in 2026. Where is Pep? Is Pep done with? So can I come back to Premier League to win something? Because I've not won because Pep just messed up with my entire plans. But then it could happen. Anything could happen here. But in my mind, and drop in the comment section below, let me know, Klopp, Pochettino, or Tuchel. Who would you want? The two Germans or the Argentine? Any one of the Germans or like the Argentine? Of course, now you could just tell me and like write in the comments, like, why aren't FA going for Pep Guardiola? Pep Guardiola has won everything. Like, of course, FA can go like, I challenge you to win the World Cup and the Euro or something with the English team. Can you do it, Pep? That's a challenge, right? 58 years of misery. 58 years of misery, and it continues. 66 to 54, like 58 years of misery and not won a World Cup or a Euro. Whoa. Imagine Pep Guardiola winning England a Euro or a World Cup. That man will be knighted. He will be given the height. He will have statues all around the country then. He will basically be running for president or prime minister. They will be asking him, can you run Downing Street? Can you run England next, please? That's the laugh. Pep Guardiola is just amazing, man. Like, but then he works in a different fashion. I don't think Pep Guardiola wants, in latter part of his career, he might go to Spain. He might become the Spain manager, but it all depends. Like, of course, it's the FA's decision eventually. But let me know in the comments section, what do you think? Of course, let's take a moment to kind of applaud Gareth Southgate, the man, the myth, the legend. He's done an amazing job bringing the players close. Jude Bellingham, Pickford, everybody just kind of is speaking highly of him, and they just love playing with him or playing for him in a way. So it's been a tough road for him. It's been a tough, tough kind of time for him as well. Like 8 years of an English manager, it's just misery because, you know, you're not playing every week. You kind of meet like 30 days in a year, 25 days in a year. You have like 4 hours of training camp. You try to fix stuff. You have injuries, people, blah, 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 different priorities, and so on and so forth. But then that's international football. It's slow paced. Maybe Klopp loves it. Maybe Klopp wants this. So let me know in the comment section below. What do you think? Southgate has resigned himself after FA, the Football Association, had given him the 2-year extension. He rejected. He said, thank you. It's my time. I wish you bye. Enjoy. See you. Good night. World Cup 2026 is around the corner, guys. It is again a chance for England to show what they can do. These players are still young. Like, all the players that were playing on this Euro are still not like 30 years old. Only Harry Kane right now is 30. But then players in 26 are still around the cusp and they could still hit their prime. So it is also a time that they might kind of do something expansive to try with these players, because they have 26 and then they have the 28 Euros as well. So they have 2 cups that they could actually win if they make a bet. 58 years of misery needs to change somehow. And World Cup 2026, maybe, but then it's done. Gareth Southgate is out. People have asked for his head. He has basically said, you can take my cup and I will take them home. Bye-bye. See you. Good night. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, and I catch you in the next one. Peace.